G'day all, Wayne here, Wombat Models, welcome back. Well, today I thought I'd try my hand at making up a DIY spray booth. Reason behind it, well, my 13-year-old daughter decided to try some airbrushing a little while back, and I was a little bit concerned about the clouds of vapour that were coming back out of the cardboard box I was using. So I think we've got to come up with something better. So I've got some ideas, I'll show you the plans, and we'll run through the build. Let's see how we go. Okay, so at the moment, this is what I'm using for a spray booth. So as you can see, it's just a toilet paper box there from Who Gives a Crap, sitting in the window. No ventilation through it, it's just a closed box. Airbrush sits there in the holder. There's my mask, compressor down there on the floor. So I just really want to do something here with to improve ventilation, because at the moment when I'm using the airbrush, vapor is just going into the booth or into the box, circulating and coming straight back out. So I really got to do something about that. As I noted before, when I saw my 13-year-old using the airbrush, it kind of freaked me out a little bit with the amount of stuff that was coming back out of the booth, even when you are wearing the mask. Okay, so when it comes to dimensions, I want to still fit it in here in the existing space. So I want it to be between this bookshelf on the right and the side of my work desk here on the left. So width-wise, as you can see, we've got around 700mm to play with. Now height, I want it basically the same height as this section on the bookshelf. So if you look, it's around 500mm. And depth-wise, we'll do the same. So from the window opening there, will come out about 500. So that'll bring it out a little bit further than it is, so probably out to about here. But I think that'll give me plenty of space. And let's see how we go. Okay, well, you saw the space that I had to work with and what we were using before. And anybody who saw the post I put up a little while ago will have seen these plans. So basically what I'm looking at using is some sheets of coreflute that I've got from signage that had from an organisation I used to belong to. So I thought we'd repurpose those. So they're $11.95, basically 1200mm square sheets of 5mm coreflute. And basically I just want to make up a box. So it'll have, as you can see there, a back, top, base, and two sides. Now the sides will be bevel cut just to try and give ease of access. Planning on using a ceiling fan for the fan, and we've also got some air conditioning filter to go in front of it, and then we'll also make up a little box as a collection chamber behind the back, which will outlet, and that'll go out through the window you saw before. So there's my basic first run plans. Here's some little very rough drawings I was trying to work out on how to do it, and we'll give a sec and we'll have a look at the components. Okay, so here you can see the basic materials we're going to use for putting together the spray booth. So in the back, we've got our coreflute, so that's a 1200 by 1200mm, 5mm thick sheets. We've also got a 450 cubic metre per hour 250mm exhaust fan that'll go in the back of the booth to provide our ventilation. And we've got some air conditioner infused activated carbon filter there to go in the back to filter out the particulates. White gaffer tape, which is going to hold it all together and seal it. And that should hopefully do it. Now, if we have a quick look at the coreflute, it has been used for signage, as I said. The sheets have all got screw holes, about between 200 and 250mm in from the edge. So it gives me about somewhere between 700 and 800mm clear space between the holes there and the holes on the other side. But that works, as you saw the dimensions. I want it to be about 700mm wide, so that will fit nicely. As I said, there's our exhaust fan. So 250mm ball bearing exhaust fan, as I said, 450 cubic metre per hour flow rate. Now that should be enough, I think. I know people probably say, oh, Han, you've got a standard open motor fan there. That's a potential source of ignition. But I believe, given the volumes and the flow through, that the Paints I'm using shouldn't reach a concentration where you would be worried about ignition, but we'll have to see. I've heard stories, but I've never heard any facts about people having fires or explosions or using ceiling fans or exhaust fans for ventilation in a spray booth. So as I said, the back spray filter material, so we'll use the Stahl air conditioner replacement filter. Sorry about the glare there. So as you can see, it's a infused activated carbon. Sheets are 1050 by 700, so that'll work out well. I'll be able to cut those and probably use 2 layers just to provide a bit of extra filtration or stopping for heavy particulates. As I said, the white gaffer tape will hold it all together. So that's what we're going to be using. Let's mark it all up for the layouts for cutting, and I'll come back once I've got that done. Okay, so there's the box all mocked up. It's just held together with tape, so you can see the sides there with the chamfer at the top. You can see I've got a fan in there, so I've got a lip along the top here, so that will hide LED light strip in behind. There you can see the fan. So the box needs a little bit of a clean up, it's still a little bit dirty. If we come around the back, you can see the fan mount there. So I've got the cord, which will just run off to the power point, and then we should be all ready to go. So I'll give it a clean up, and then what I'm going to do is where I've got it currently tacked together with tape, we'll run tape along the seams to seal it. Just does need a bit of a trim here. I miscut the size on that one. And then we'll look at cladding it. So looking at using some contact to clad it. Now at the moment I have got a roll of black, but I'm thinking I'd like to keep it white or maybe blue. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think the outside of this should be white, black or blue? Okay, so one thing we do need to look at with the fan in place is an enclosure around the back of the box to try and draw it down, and then we'll have a plate on the back and an outlet here which will lead off to the window. Now this sits about, you can see I've got a double thickness there just to help mount it, but basically we're talking probably, it protrudes about 100 mil, so I probably need to do at least a 120, maybe 125 deep enclosure on the back. So next up we'll try that. Okay, and there's the enclosure on the back that will enclose the fan. I will put a smaller outlet hole here which will outlet out that window. So I think we're almost done just with the mock-up stage. Just a little bit of trimming, some cleaning up, and then final taping, at least for the seams, and then we can look at cladding the box. And there's the booth in position, so it fits quite nicely and snugly. You can see it doesn't have a lot of space on the sides, but that's good. We'll vent out that window. So once we get it all properly sealed up, all the tape sides done and the box clad and cleaned up on the inside, we'll give you a bit of a demo of how she works. Okay, so we'll leave the build there for the moment. We'll give you another video once I've done the little refinements, and also when I do some test sprays and have the booth in action, and we'll see if we need to modify anything. But for now, that's pretty much it. So if you feel like it, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time.